As you can tell by the title, this is my video response to LucidLJ's wrestling challenge video, where basically he asked everyone to put together a dream roster, which incorporated one wrestler from every year between 1985 till 2010. So this is my list that I put together. It starts with 1985, Dynamite Kid, the standard bearer for a high-flying worker. In fact, any sort of worker, he's for me is one of the best technical wrestlers and all-round workers of all time. I don't know how good he was on the mic, because I've never seen any of his promos, but I'm guessing he wasn't that good. But still, as a worker himself, the standard bearer. 86, I've gone for not a wrestler but a manager. This time it's Bobby Heenan. Again, the standard bearer for a manager. He is the top of the range, and for a commentator as well, he's a top of the range commentator. But for me, you can't have a roster take a guy from 1986 with leaving Bobby Heenan out. 87, Andre the Giant. This is the year of WrestleMania 3. He was a monster heel, and for me, he's the best heel of all time. You could put him in a match with any guy from any era, and I'm telling you now, I'm going to fear for that other guy's life, because Andre the Giant is a legitimate badass. He's absolutely massive. We all know how big he is, and you get scared for the other guy because he's just so awe-inspiring, isn't he? 88, Ted DiBiase, the original, not Junior, obviously. He had a fantastic WrestleMania 4, wrestling 2 or 3 matches. It was a title tournament. I think he got a bye in one of the rounds. So yeah, because Andre and Hogan were one of the were drawn, so it was a bye that Ted DiBiase got. But anyway, he should have got. He's the best guy who's been in the WWE in his prime who never got the world title, in my opinion. He should have got it, but the other guys around were also deserving of it. So you can't really and ah about that too long. 89, Hulk Hogan. The standard bearer for a guy who's going to draw money. He's the ultimate, isn't he? 1990, Rick Rude. He's a great heel. He's probably the weakest guy I've got on this list for someone who could be interchangeable with somebody else. 1991. Now, in 1991, the most shocking moment in television history happened, and it's on the Wrestling Challenge, where Jake the Snake tied up Macho Man Randy Savage in the ropes and then set that King Cobra on him. That to me was, it's just shocking, wasn't it? It's like, you watch it now and some people just still can't watch it to this day, and it's what, almost 20 years on. So yeah, fantastic heel, you could do that stuff. 1992, Davey Boy Smith, he sold out the Wembley Arena, beat Bret Hart for the IC title. Fantastic worker. For me, he's the best superstar to ever come out of England in terms of wrestling. You watch his stuff, and he just looks like a natural superstar. I don't know about his appeal in America, but over here, we loved him, so I've got to put him in my list. 1993, Mr. Perfect. He had a fantastic match with Bret Hart at King of the Ring. He kicks Ric Flair out of the WWF in the loser leaves WWF match on Raw. 1994, this guy, to me, he's probably the best wrestler of all time. He didn't have that much to run, so I probably couldn't give him that. I've underlined about this to myself for quite a while now, but Owen Hart, very much underrated. For me, he's up there. I think he's better than Bret Hart, and for me, Bret Hart's my favourite wrestler of all time. The only reason I'd give Bret Hart the edge is because he had more longevity and he was around for longer, but Owen was better in my opinion. 1997, he debuted this guy at Bad Blood. He ripped the door off the cage and he attacked his brother, the Undertaker. Of course, I'm talking about Kane, a monster heel. And under that mask, I was genuinely scared of him when I was a kid. I went to watch Man in Manchester live, and I actually bought a Kane T-shirt, and I was actually scared to death of Kane. I was so scared of the guy. 1998, Shawn Michaels. This guy was such an arrogant, cocky bastard in real life, and it really transcended into his character. I was a fan of him at the time because I was just a little mark, and I like Shawn Michaels from the boyhood dream stuff, so I still liked him then. But looking back, he was so good as a heel. Such an arrogant bastard, and top game. Want to be a heel, he's the guy to look up to in terms of an arrogant pretty boy heel. 1999, Steve Austin, he was on fire. The Monday Night Wars were at the peak. Austin, he drew a load, he earned a lot of money on merchandise. Blah 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 blah. We all know about him. 2000, The Rock again. We all know about The Rock. Cuts promos out, about anything, and it's amazing. Great in the ring as well. 2001, he's in TNA right now. Rob Van Dam, great worker. Well, actually, he's not such a great worker, but for me, when I was younger, you know, in my early teens, seeing Rob Van Dam, I thought it was fantastic, so I've got to put him in for 2001. 2002, The Undertaker. He's been around the WWF so long, you can't have one of these lists without him. 2003, the next big thing, Brock Lesnar. He was so good in these like 2-3 years that he was in the WWE that I had to put him in on this list because he was just that damn good. 2004, Eduardo Guerrero. You know, such a good athlete, such a good talent, such a good promo. Shame that he died, like, what was he, 36 or something like that. You know, it's such a shame that he was taken away from us so soon. 2005, Edge. This is when the whole Matt Lita thing blew up, and you know, he's a fantastic heel, isn't he? And he really played up to that. 2006, Chris Benoit. We all know what he did, but he was a fantastic worker in the ring. You know, Dynamite Kid Jr. Some people would say. Obviously, Davey Richards is the equivalent nowadays, in my opinion. 2007, the best heel of the Attitude Era, in my opinion, the best heel. And it's Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon was such a good heel in the Attitude Era. I put him in 2007 because he had no one for this year, so I thought I'd put him in. 2008, I put down William Regal, but I've just realised I've not put the Nature Boy Ric Flair in, and I think 08 was the year he retired, wasn't it? Maybe 09. Either way, I'll put the Nature Boy Ric Flair in. You know, everybody loves him. I'm not a big fan of him, but you know, he would draw and he would put on great matches, especially if he was in his prime. So yeah, I put him in there. 2009, CM Punk. You know, put that straight edge society gimmick on him of how he is now. He's such a good heel, and he's such a good chicken shit heel as well. He hides behind his guys, he even hides behind the woman Serena. You know, he's so good. In 2010, I'm a mark for this guy, definitely. Everyone is. Daniel Bryan. He's a great worker. He didn't have a really good run, but to me, Bryan Danielson is the best wrestler in the world, and I can't seriously put together a list of guys from 2010 and not say that he's better than everyone else. So yeah, that is my list. I'll be posting this as a video response to LucidLJ. So yeah, other people start posting other results to him as well, because you know, it's a pretty good idea. So yeah, let's get this thing going. Bam.